Hello and welcome to part 4 of our 7 minutes of power credit session. I want to thank you all for joining me again for tonight's credit presentation. So if you guys did not see the past 3 credit sessions, we're talking about all things credit and how you can improve your overall credit score. So for those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Crystal Moore. I am a financial coach with My Econ, or I'm also Crystal, the credit slayer and debt eliminator. Okay, so before we begin today's lesson, let's just talk about how having good credit can affect an auto loan versus bad credit. Okay, I see this quite often with a lot of people, and let's just talk about the differences. So you go to the Mercedes-Benz dealership and you want this brand new, beautiful red Mercedes-Benz. You are approved for a $20,000 auto loan. Okay, so you also get the 60-month term agreement for the loan. But now here's where the differences are. Okay, so with good credits, you get a 6% interest rate, and with bad credit, you get a 26% interest rate. And you got to excuse me, guys. I've been having technical difficulties all day. That's why we're running a little behind schedule. So with good credits, you get a $387 a month payment. With bad credits, you get a $599 a month payment. So with that being said, with bad credit, you are going to double your monthly payment. So we want everyone to have good credit. No, in fact, we want everyone to have the best credit. So if you join me for our very first session, we talked about what goes into a good score. What is a good score? So the best credit is 800 to 850. Excellent credit is 750 to 799. Good credit, 700 to 749. Fair credit, 650 to 699. Poor credit, 600 to 649. Bad credit, 300 to 599. So for most people that I've talked to, we're usually in the poor to good credit range. Me, myself, I am in the good credit range. And I was perfectly fine with that because I know that I could, get pretty decent interest rates. But we need to aim for best credit. You want your credit score to be in the 800 to 850 range. Why? Because you get the very best interest rates. Why? Because you want to be the person that has that type of financial power, especially because a lot of times people in our community, we do not have the same advantages of people from other ethnicities and races. So a lot of times we're not educated about the importance of having best credit. But now that you know, knowledge is power. So that's what you need to aim for. Okay. So let's talk about what makes up your credit score. We talked about this in the first presentation. So last week we addressed payment history, which is 192.5 max points. Last week we talked about how you can get the most points in payment history. But this week we're going to talk about credit utilization, which makes up 165 max points. Your credit history is 82.5 max points, new credit 55 max points, credit mix 55 max points. Okay. So first, let's talk about the 2 different types of credit. So you have your revolving credit, which is a line of credit. You do not have to borrow the entire amount at any one time. You do not have to pay it back in full each month. Interest accrues on the remaining balance. Payments may vary based on the remaining amount owed. So your revolving credit will always be your credit cards, your home equity loans. Some payday loans are considered revolving credit, but for the most part, you'll probably have credit cards as your revolving credit. You have your installment credit, which is loans that has a fixed amount, fixed payment, interest accrues on unpaid balances, full amount of loan given to you up front. You can't reborrow. So installments are usually your loans, your mortgage and your car loans. So both affect your credit in different ways, and it's very good to have a mixture of both because like we just saw, that is going to affect your overall credit score. So just know, before you apply for a mortgage or a car loan, those lenders are going to look at your revolving credit. So they're going to look and make sure that your revolving credit lines are in good standing and that you actually have a revolving credit line. So credit utilization, the solution is you pay down your revolving debt. You buy 1, debt elimination, 2, increasing your credit limit, 3, new credit. Okay, so the solution 1 is going to pay down the revolving debt, and solution 2 and 3 will lower your credit utilization by increasing credit limit. Now let's talk briefly about how you calculate your total credit utilization ratio. So this is just a brief example of how you would calculate that. Okay, so you have credit card A, B, and C. One has a $655 balance. Card B has a $1,256 balance, and card C has an $890 balance. Okay, so for card A, you have a $1,000 limit, B, you have a $4,000 limit, and C, you have a $3,000 limit. So the total amount owed is $2,801, and you have an overall total credit limit of $8,000. So you would simply divide your amount owed by your total limit, and that is how you will get your overall credit utilization ratio, which is very important to know. Okay, so the rule of thumb and the best credit tip I can give you is to keep your credit utilization at or below 30% of your overall credit limit. So that means for your revolving credit lines, if you have a credit card, do not max out your credit card. Even during the holiday season, if you cannot pay cash, don't use your credit, because when you max out your credit cards, that's going to impact your credit score, and lenders can see that. They do know when your credit cards are maxed out. So you want to try to keep your credit ratio and utilization ratio at or around 30%, at the most 35%. So please do not go over 35% because it will affect your credit score. So make sure that you're keeping it at least 30%. Okay, now for your homework assignment, I want you to calculate your credit utilization ratio. If you need help, because we're going through this pretty fast because we only have 7 minutes of power, then definitely send me a message and I can help you calculate that credit utilization ratio. Also, it is very important, some of you have already messaged me. If you do not know how to access your free credit report, you need to message me, inbox me, comment on this video and let me know so I can definitely show you how you can get access to your 3 credit reports for free. So guys, thank you once again. You guys have been wonderful. So I will see you next week with part 5 of our 7 minutes of power credit session. You guys have a wonderful evening. Bye.